Welcome to Focus English with Cece.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I am Cece. I am so happy that you are here with us today. Whether you are listening on your morning walk, on the bus to work, or relaxing at home, we are glad you are here. Tom, welcome back. It is so great to see you again. How have you been? How is life treating you since we last spoke?
Hello, CC, and hello to all our listeners. I have been doing quite well, thank you for asking. I've been very busy with my job. You know how it is, work. But I am trying to be careful. I am trying to squeeze in some time to see my friends.
Ooh, I like that phrase, squeeze in. Let's pause for a second. That is a great phrasal verb for our listeners. Can you explain what it means to squeeze in time?
Of course. Imagine a suitcase. The suitcase is full of clothes. It is totally full. But you want to put one more pair of socks inside. You have to push and push to make a tiny space. You squeeze the socks in. Time is the same. When your schedule is full of work, you have to find a tiny space for fun. That is squeezing it in.
That is a perfect explanation. Visualizing a suitcase makes it very clear.
Exactly. And hanging out with my friends is worth it. It always makes me feel better. It's like medicine. If I have a stressful week, seeing a friend fixes everything. How about you, Cece? And how about our amazing listeners? I hope everyone is having a wonderful, happy week.
I completely agree with you, Tom. Hanging out is the perfect cure. It is the best medicine for a busy life. And to all our listeners, we hope you are feeling great. We hope you are ready to dive into today's topic.
Dive in. That is another good one. Like jumping into a swimming pool?
Yes. Imagine you're at a pool. You don't walk in slowly. You jump. You dive in. It means to start something with a lot of energy. You're excited to start.
I love that. I am ready to dive in.
Me too. But before we start, I have a small favor to ask. If you enjoy learning English with us, please press the subscribe button on your phone. It is free. When you subscribe, it tells the app that you like our show. This helps us find more people around the world. We want to help everyone make English feel like home.
Yes, please do. A simple click helps us a lot. It goes a long way. Now, let's start. So, CC, what are we talking about today? What is our deep, warm, and real topic?
Today, we are tackling or dealing with the backbone of life, friendship.
The backbone?
Yes. Think about your body. Your backbone is your spine. It is the bones in your back that hold you up. Without a backbone, you cannot stand up straight. Friendship is the same for our lives. It gives us strength. It holds us up. It is something we all need. It does not matter what country you're from. It does not matter if you are 15 years old or 80 years old. We all need friends.
Wow, that is a beautiful way to put it. I agree. Friends are like a second family. We do not choose our parents or our brothers and sisters, but we choose our friends. They help us become who we are.
Absolutely. Friends shape our lives. But let's start with the basics. Let's ask a simple question. How do we define a good friend? In your opinion, Tom, what makes a good friend? What are the qualities that are non-negotiable?
Non-negotiable, that is a big word. Let's break it down. To negotiate means to discuss something to reach an agreement. Like buying a car, you discuss the price. But if something is non-negotiable, you will not discuss it. You will not change your mind. It's a rule you must follow.
Exactly. So, what are your rules for friendship?
Let me think. The first word that comes into my head is trust. A good friend must be someone I can trust completely.
Trust is huge. What does trust look like to you?
It means I know they will keep my secrets. If I tell them something personal, maybe something embarrassing, I am not worried. I know they won't go and tell other people. I feel safe with them. I can be my true self. I don't have to wear a mask. I don't have to pretend to be cool or smart. I can just be Tom.
Yes, trust is the foundation. It is like the concrete under a house. If you don't have trust, the house falls down. If you cannot trust someone, they are not really your friend. What else is important?
After trust, I think a friend must be supportive.
Supportive. That is a nice word.
Yes, a supportive person gives you help. They give you strength when you are weak. But, Cece, this is important. Being supportive does not mean they always agree with you.
Can you explain that?
Sure, sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes we have bad ideas. A true friend will tell you the truth. For example, last year I had a very bad week at work. I was angry. I wanted to quit my job immediately. I had no plan. I had no other job waiting. I just wanted to leave.
That sounds stressful, Tom. What happened?
My best friend Alex stopped me. If he was a fake friend, he might say, "Yeah, quit. That place is terrible." But he didn't say that. He sat me down. He said, "Tom, think twice."
Think twice. That means to think carefully before acting, right?
Yes. He said, "Don't rush. Don't do it fast. Do you have money saved? How will you pay your rent?" He asked me hard questions. At that moment, I was a little annoyed, but he was right. He challenged me because he cared about me. That is real support. He saved me from making a big mistake.
That is a powerful story, Tom. You're right. True friends don't always tell you what you want to hear. They tell you what you need to hear. We can call that honest feedback. They are honest, but they are not mean. They do it with kindness.
Exactly. Kindness is key. They're nice to you, and they are loyal.
Loyalty. That is a strong word. It reminds me of soldiers or knights in a movie.
Laughs, yes. But in friendship, loyalty means they are dependable. They are reliable. If they say, "I will help you move your furniture on Saturday," they show up on Saturday. They don't cancel at the last minute. They don't change their mind easily.
And sometimes loyalty is quiet. It isn't about doing big things. Sometimes it's just about being there.
Yes, I have a metaphor for this. Sometimes life is dark. Maybe you are sad. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe you're sick. You're in the dark. A loyal friend is someone who will come and sit with you in the dark. They don't try to turn on the lights immediately. They don't say, "Stop being sad." They just sit next to you. They wait with you until you feel better.
I love that image, Tom. The quiet light of friendship. Sometimes we don't need a solution. We don't need someone to fix our problems. We just need someone to listen. We need empathy.
Empathy. That is a very important word for English learners. Can you define it?
Sure, empathy is the ability to understand another person's feelings. It is like you're wearing their shoes. You try to feel what they feel. You say, "I understand why you are sad," instead of saying, "You shouldn't be sad." So we have a clear picture now. We know what a good friend is. We want someone who has trust, support, honesty, loyalty, kindness, and empathy. That sounds perfect. But here's the hard part. How do we find these people?
That is the big question.
Especially for our listeners who are learning English. Maybe they're in a new country. Maybe they're traveling. Making a connection in a second language can feel scary. Where do we start?
It starts with something very small. It starts with a smile, and it starts with small talk.
Small talk. Some people hate small talk. They think it's boring. But it is necessary, isn't it?
It is absolutely necessary. Small talk is polite conversation about unimportant things. You cannot walk up to a stranger and ask, "What is your deepest fear?" That is too much. You have to start small. You talk about the weather. You talk about the bus being late. You talk about the coffee.
Right. You just say, wow, it's raining a lot today. Right. You just say, wow, it is raining a lot today. Or this coffee is delicious.
Exactly. It opens the door. It shows the other person that you are friendly. It can happen anywhere, at work, in a classroom, at the gym.
I agree. It starts with one small step. Let me tell you a story about my best friend, Emily. We hit it off immediately.
Wait, let me stop you there. Hit it off. That is a fantastic idiom. What does it mean?
To hit it off means to become friends very quickly. You meet someone and instantly you like them. The conversation is easy, you laugh at the same jokes, it feels natural. It feels like you have known them for a long time, even if you just met.
Got it. So, how did you and Emily hit it off?
It was about 10 years ago. I was at the library. It was a rainy day. I was holding too many books. I had books in one arm, my bag in the other, and my phone in my hand. Suddenly, oops, I dropped my phone.
Oh no!
It made a very loud noise. Bang! Everyone in the quiet library looked at me. I was so embarrassed. My face was red. Emily was sitting at a table nearby. She didn't look angry. She stood up, picked up my phone, and handed it to me. She smiled and said, "It looks like your phone is trying to escape."
That is funny. Trying to escape like a prisoner.
Yes, we both laughed. That simple joke broke the ice. We started talking about books, and then we went for coffee. Now, 10 years later, she is my best friend.
That is a classic example of hitting it off. You shared a funny moment.
What about you, Tom? Have you ever hit it off with someone instantly?
Yes, I have. My friend Skylar. We met at a party. Everyone was watching a movie. It was a zombie movie. You know, monsters eating people.
Scary.
Well, everyone else was scared. They were screaming. But Skylar and I, we're very logical people. We like science. We started whispering to each other. We were saying, "That doesn't make sense. Why are the zombies so fast? Where do they get energy?"
You were analyzing the science of the zombie movie?
Yes, we spent the whole night arguing about the plot. A plot is the story of the movie. We found plot holes, parts of the story that are impossible. We realized we were on the same wavelength.
On the same wavelength. That is another great idiom. It comes from radio, right?
Yes, if two radios are on the same wavelength, they can hear each other. For people, it means you think in a similar way. You understand each other easily. You have the same style of thinking.
Finding someone on your wavelength is a great feeling. It makes everything easier. For our listeners, a good tip is to find people who like what you like. Join a club. If you like football, join a team. If you like reading, join a book club. If you want to practice English, join a language group. It is much easier to start a conversation if you are doing the same activity. Okay, so imagine we have made a friend. We used small talk, we hit it off, we are on the same wavelength. Now comes the work. How do we keep that friendship?
You said the right word. Work. Friendship is not magic. It doesn't just stay perfect forever. It's like a plant. Imagine you buy a beautiful plant for your house. If you put it in a corner and ignore it, what happens?
It turns brown. It dries up. It dies.
Exactly. You have to water it. You have to give it sunlight. Friendship needs attention.
So, how do we water our friendships?
I think the secret is small, regular actions. You don't need to buy expensive gifts. You don't need to go on big vacations. You just need to check in.
To check in. What does that mean?
To check in means to contact someone just to see how they are. It can be a short text message. Hey, how are you? Or, I hope you have a good day.
I do that too. Sometimes I see a funny picture on Instagram or a funny video on TikTok. I send it to my friend. I say, "This made me think of you."
That is perfect. It sends a message. It says, I am thinking about you. You are important to me. It makes people feel cared for.
This is especially important for old friends. Do you have friends from when you were a child? Childhood friends?
I have a few, but I also have friends that I have lost. We didn't fight. We just grew apart.
Grew apart. This is a sad but very common phrasal verb. Can you explain it?
Sure. Imagine two trees planted next to each other. When they're small, their branches touch. But as they grow up, maybe one tree leans to the left, toward the river, the other tree leans to the right, toward the mountain. Over time, there is a big distance between them. That is growing apart.
It happens when lives change, right?
Yes. My friend Michael and I were inseparable in college. Inseparable means we were always together. You could not separate us. But after university, he got a job in London. I stayed here. We got busy. Slowly, we stopped calling. We didn't stop liking each other. We just stopped talking. Our lives went in different directions.
It's like two boats on the ocean. If you don't paddle together, the water pushes you away from each other.
That is a great description. It can be sad, but I learned something important. It's okay. Not every friendship lasts forever. I still have great memories with Michael. I'm happy for him.
That is a very mature way to see it. But for the friends we want to keep, we have to paddle the boat. We have to put in the effort. We have to be there through thick and thin.
Oh, I love that idiom. Through thick and thin.
Let's explain it. Thick represents difficult times. Maybe a thick forest that is hard to walk through. Thin represents easy times, clear, open space. So if you stay with someone through thick and thin, it means you stay with them during the bad times and the good times.
That is true loyalty.
Now, Tom, let's talk about something difficult. Conflict, arguments. Even best friends have problems sometimes. Maybe you have a misunderstanding.
Yes. Maybe you were late for lunch, or maybe you forgot to call on their birthday.
Right. Let's say your friend is angry. How do we fix it?
Step 1, talk about it. Do not be silent. If you are silent, the problem gets bigger. But you must be careful how you talk.
We talked about this in a previous episode, the I statement.
Yes. Do not say, you are mean, or you made me sad. That sounds like an attack. The other person will want to fight back. Instead, talk about your feelings. Say, I felt sad when you forgot my birthday.
That is much better. It's softer. It invites conversation, not an argument.
And if you made the mistake, apologize. Say, I am sorry, and mean it.
And if your friend apologizes to you, forgive them. Do not hold on to the anger. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get sick. It only hurts you.
Very true. Now, Cece, I want to talk about one more thing that helps friendships. It sounds strange, but you need boundaries.
Boundaries, like a fence around a house.
Yes, exactly. A boundary is a limit. It's an invisible line that protects your time and your energy.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. Imagine you have a very long, hard day at work. You're tired, you have a headache, you just want to go home, eat pizza, and sleep. But your friend calls you. They say, "Hey, let's go to a party tonight."
Ugh, that is hard. You want to be a good friend. You don't want to say no.
But you need to rest. If you go to the party, you'll be grumpy and tired. That's not good for anyone. You need to set a boundary. You need to say no.
How can we say no without being rude? How can we say no without hurting their feelings?
I have a special formula for this. It is polite no plus reason plus future plan.
Okay, show us.
So I would say, I can't go tonight. The no. I'm really exhausted from work. The reason. But I would love to see you next week. Are you free on Saturday? The future plan.
That is perfect. You are saying no to the party, but you are saying yes to the friendship. You are showing that you still want to see them, just not tonight.
Exactly. A real friend will understand. They will say, "Okay, get some rest. See you Saturday." If they get angry because you need to sleep, maybe they're not respecting your boundaries.
Tom, we have talked about a lot today. We talked about trust, making connections, growing apart, and setting boundaries. Before we finish, I want to ask you something. Many of our listeners are adults. Is it harder to make friends as an adult?
Oh, definitely. When you are a kid, it is easy. You go to school, you sit next to someone, you share your toys. Boom, you are friends. But as an adult, everyone is busy. Everyone has jobs and families. You have to be intentional.
Intentional. That means you have to plan it. You have to try. It doesn't happen by accident.
Right. You have to be brave. You have to say hello. You have to invite people for coffee. You have to accept that it takes time. You cannot meet someone on Monday and be best friends on Tuesday. It is a process.
You know, Tom, listening to you, I realized something. Making friends is exactly like learning English.
Really? How?
Think about it. It is an analogy. An analogy is a comparison between two things. First, it starts with a simple hello. In friendship, you use small talk. In English, you learn basic words. Second, you will make mistakes. In friendship, you might say the wrong thing. In English, you might use the wrong grammar. And that is okay. That is how you learn.
I like this analogy.
Third, it takes time. A deep friendship takes years. Fluency in English takes years. You cannot rush it. You have to be patient. And finally, it is about connection, not perfection.
Ooh, say that again. Connection, not perfection.
You don't need a perfect friend. You just need a real friend. And you don't need perfect English to speak to people. You just need to communicate.
That is beautiful advice. If you wait until your English is perfect, you will never speak. If you wait until you are perfect to make friends, you will be lonely. Just be yourself. Use the words you know.
Exactly. A simple message like, "How are you?" creates a connection. It doesn't matter if your grammar is not 100% correct. The feeling is what matters. All right, we are coming to the end of our show. This was a big topic. Let's do a quick review. We want to make sure our listeners remember the best words and phrases from today.
Sounds good. Let's recap.
First, we talked about qualities of a friend. Trust means you feel safe with them. They keep secrets. Loyalty means they stay with you through thick and thin. Empathy means they understand your feelings. They put themselves in your shoes. Supportive means they help you even if they have to challenge you.
Then we had some phrasal verbs and idioms. To squeeze in means to find a small time for something in a busy schedule. To dive in means to start something with energy. To hit it off means to become friends immediately, to have a good connection instantly. To grow apart means when friends slowly become distant because their lives change. To check in means to send a quick message to see how someone is doing.
And we talked about conversation. Small talk means polite conversation about weather or food. On the same wavelength means thinking in the same way. Boundaries means saying no to protect your energy.
And don't forget the magic formula for saying no. No plus reason plus future plan. I can't tonight. I'm tired, but let's meet Saturday.
Fantastic! Listeners, we hope this episode helps you. We hope it helps you think about your friends. And we hope it gives you the courage to use your English to make new connections.
Yes! If you are feeling lonely, remember, there are people out there looking for a friend just like you. Be brave, smile, say hello. You never know, you might hit it off with your new best friend today.
Thank you so much, Tom, for sharing your stories and your wisdom. It is always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you, Cece. I always love chatting with you. It was fun.
And a huge thank you to everyone listening. We appreciate you. You are part of our community. If you like this episode, please remember to subscribe and maybe share it with a friend. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep building those friendships.
Bye, everyone. See you next time.
Bye.